So guys, here is the painless flipping timeline. This is what I teach, and it obviously goes way more in depth than this, but we'll start here, okay? So the first thing that's extremely important for everyone, guys, is picking a market. Now, if you're brand new, you want to pick one market. If you're brand new and you're starting in 7 different markets, or even like 2, that can be extremely difficult. The power of being able to sell deals is understanding and mastering your market, knowing, okay, this is a good area. Maybe a wholesaler in Kentucky found a deal in Utah, doesn't know that this area sells for more than, across the highway, across the block. And, I have that information, I have that intel, and I have great buyers there. So you want to start with picking one market so you can master it. I have experience because I went nationwide for like 2 years. I did fine, made money, but it was very stressful because every new lead you got was almost in a new area where you had to build new relationships and new deals. It was too much. So, I go back to one area, and that's what I suggest. Okay. So once you pick your one market, and with this method that I'm teaching of painless flipping, going and finding deals that are already for sale from agents or wholesalers, you want to go to an area that has a lot of activity. You don't want to be doing this in the middle of nowhere, because then there's no deals to help move, right? So you want to pick major metros. And major metros are where flippers are buying anyway. So finding buyers is gonna be easy. Okay, number 1 is title companies. How are you gonna find buyers? I like reaching out to title companies. I like reaching out to them and saying, hey, my name's Nathan. I'm new to the area. I don't want to start flipping yet, but I do come across deals all the time. Are there any buyers that you can recommend to me that I could bring deals to? And kind of explain how you provide value. I specifically look for deals that meet the criteria. A lot of title companies will give you their top buyer or a buyer they know, and they'll give you that warm handoff. They'll say, hey, yeah, this is John. And then that way, when you call John, it's not like a cold outreach. It's someone that you have a warm touch to. And you can say, hey, John, I just talked to Christina at GT Title. She told me you're the perfect person to work with. I was wondering if I could chat with you a little bit about your buying criteria and see if I could bring you some deals so we can get this done. So that's title companies is a great strategy. Hard money lenders is also good because they know who's buying and who's looking for a deal. So you can find buyers through hard money lenders. Real estate agents, we use real estate agents all the time for finding buyers. We pay them their commission. We negotiate their commission. We just say, hey, if you have a buyer that would be interested in this deal, we'd be willing to pay you for bringing the buyer. Okay. And then you negotiate it $2,000-$3,000. You can build a buyer's list. Like 2 years ago, I purchased a buyer's list that was like 1.3 million buyers across the United States. It's not, I'll tell you, because I spent $25,000 on the list. I'll tell you that it's not so much the list, it's the relationships that you build with the people on the list. So just because you can send something out doesn't mean it will get sold. Okay. Let's see. I think someone's asked. Okay. That's AI assistant. I thought that was a question. Social media posts also finds buyers. You can find buyers on marketplace platforms as well, hedge funds and REI meetups. Okay, so I'm going to show you a specific deal case study that I did. It took me, I think it took me 3 hours to do a $7,000 wholesale fee, 3 hours, and no market, no spend or anything. And I'll show you this shows you the whole process. So I asked my title company lady for a buyer. Said, hey, Christina, do you know anyone that's buying in Ogden? Okay, it's one of the cities that are out here. She said, I'm asking some people. She puts me in a group text with the buyer, says, hey, Scott, meet Nathan. Then I text Scott and I say, hey, when can you hop on a phone call? Okay, so I've actually sold Scott a couple deals since we've connected because I know his criteria and we have that warm handoff, and it was, it's good. So once I got Scott's info from the title company, I started getting the buyer's criteria. Okay. Why would they want to work with you? If you don't provide value to them, you're just another wholesaler. So you want to say, hey, look, I'm specifically going to look for properties that meet your criteria. So I really need to find out what you're looking for. I don't want to bring you something that you're not interested in. And I definitely don't want to just blow you up where we don't talk anymore. The key to this is communication. So I'm specific, and you can also use agents as well and get the criteria of their buyers. So you got to ask the right questions. Okay. So once you have the buyers and you know where you're looking, what do you do? Okay. Well, you got to go search for deals. Now, contrary to what a lot of people believe, there's no deals out there, but that's not true. There's thousands and thousands of deals out there. Let me just show you guys something right here. This is my email. These are all deals that are getting sent to me right now. Just today, this morning, like, look at this, look at this, look at this. And all I have to do is run my analysis, see if it makes sense for my buyer, and then I send it to them. So where do you search for these deals? Well, I just showed you. You can get wholesalers send you emails. So email blasts, network, and call them, Facebook groups, online platforms. There's online platforms that actually specifically put deals on there, and you can just snipe those deals and bring them to your buyers. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of Sunday.com. They kind of went down recently, but I was doing deals on Sunday.com like that, like 50,000. Like these were big spreads because my buyers just don't know about these platforms. So you got InvestorLive, Sunday, Property Source, Trelly. I haven't used these two, but I know those are platforms. So you can look at deals in specific areas for your buyers, real estate agents, Privy, Pocket Listings, and you just build relationships. So this specific deal, we're going back to the case study, is got the buyer, asked him what he wanted, got an email from a wholesaler in my market. And I was like, oh, he likes this street. He likes this area. He likes Murray. Found deal by being on their buyers list. So what did I do? I quickly analyzed the deal. And guys, by the way, I didn't even analyze it. I just said, hey, that's the street he likes. Let me just ask him if he wants to buy, like if he's interested. So I didn't run comps. Don't even know what the house looks like still. I just knew. And I have a relationship where if I can just send him some, he'll just run comps. And he's just like, thanks for the opportunity. But before I did that, I wanted to call the wholesaler just to make sure I wasn't wasting my time. Okay. Because I didn't want to just send this to him if it's already under contract. So the next step is analyze deal motivation and, reach out to the wholesaler that has the deal. So here's some text conversations I had with the wholesaler. Hey, Brandy, this is Nathan. I have a buyer who's looking for a flip in that area. Can I call you tomorrow? She's like, yeah, here's the walkthrough. And I said, I have a buyer that's interested, but they're actually lower. Their purchase price that they've offered me, because he actually gave me the offer price. I said, it's lower than what you're asking for. Is it worth it to send them to the walkthrough? And she was like, I don't know if it's worth it. We don't even have it for lower than what he offered. So I was like, whatever. We still hopped on the phone. I talked to her and, built that relationship with that wholesaler. She then texts me like 2 days later and is like, hey, Nate, can you try running this deal again by your buyers? We're gonna have to take it down. We didn't find any buyers for it, but I'd really like to just get rid of it. Let's see. I think there was one text where she said okay, right here. Hey, Nathan, do you have anyone that would be interested in Cottonwood Heights at 405? I can check. We close Monday. Okay, so you plan on buying it if you don't have a buyer. So she's telling me, yes, I plan on buying it, but she didn't want to. Okay, so this is all I did. I analyzed it and I reached out to my buyer, and this is what I said to my buyer. I sent him the email and I said, hey, they have it under contract for $400,000 and are planning on buying it on Monday. But they asked me to reach out and see if I had a buyer interested that would pay more so they don't have to flip it. Let me know if you're interested. Okay, I'm interested. Okay, so from that point, it was one text message and a phone call to the wholesaler. He's like, yeah, I'll do it, but 400,000 is tight. Then I was like, well, look, we got to get paid. He's like, well, what do you need? And I was like, can you do 407? He's like, okay, cool. And it closed like 2 days later. Okay. So I analyzed it, brought it to my buyer. I made the final offer to the wholesaler, negotiated it, and we got it closed. And because we split it with the wholesaler, $7K is what the wholesale fee was, but it was actually a $3,500 check, which for me is fine because I, spent 3 hours doing it with a couple texts and calls. So this is the power of painless flipping. It's just relationships and knowing what people actually want to buy. And that was kind of the whole process. So how do you become powerful in your market? Well, you let people know you can get offers super quick. Your buyers will, commit quickly. And, you just have the best buyers in the area. So that's kind of a nutshell of what the painless flipping method is and how to do it.